What is up, Saturn system? I hope you beautiful people are enjoying another wonderful day in paradise. My name is Saturn Cycle, and welcome back to Diablo 2's One Life to Lose run. Last time we made it to the Arcane Sanctuary, which was a big plus for us. We're going to go back there soon enough. Did we swap these? Oh, right, I was supposed to put sockets in this stuff. Not sockets, put gems in this stuff before this episode started, but I didn't do that. My bad. So we're going to do that right now then, I guess. We're going to take a look. So I also did my research when it comes to crystal swords. Wait, where is it? Here it is. So we need a crystal sword with 4 sockets, not 2. And unfortunately, what we need, like the runes we need, we won't have those for quite some time, unfortunately. We don't even have one of the base ones. So unfortunately, we're not going to be balling out of control with the rune words for some time. That kind of bums me out, but you know, you do what you can. So what I want to do is I want to make this better. Poison damage, 7 over 3 seconds, which is already, I guess, better than this. Attack speed, enhanced damage, 1 of 6 attack rating. Requirements minus 20% is really good. So we are going to put one of these in here. So it's 20. Shouldn't it have gone to 27? Why did it drop 2%? Whatever. And this will add another. It's 1 to 8, 3 to 5, 5 to 8. You know, we'll just make this a poison one. So 35 poison damage over 3 seconds. I can live with that. So what we need to do now is go to the Arcane Sanctuary and basically just build our army. We need another golem, and then we're gonna need a bunch of skelly bros. So let's head on over, see if we can survive this. Like I've said 6 million times, if we're gonna die anywhere, it's gonna be here, because this place can be brutal. Did he not leave a body behind? Okay, cool. Because this place does get kind of hectic, so I want to make sure that we stay in a position where, you know, we're not getting wrecked like our skelly bro just did. Luckily our guy over there is putting in work, so we have time to. How many skeletons can we have? 5? That's 5. Now we need skeleton mages. We can have 3 of those. Okay. We should be okay for now. Let's go ahead and raise another golem, actually. Just so it's at full health. I want to pick up all this gold, of course. So the goal of this area is we have to find a tome that'll tell us where Talrash's tomb is, and Talrash is like some dude that did a super cool thing. The lore is not important. If it was important, I'd be listening to people talk. Oh jeez, get out of there. You see what I mean about things getting hectic? And we still have to go through an entire stage of this. Oh no, don't kill my guy! He's dead. Oh, because there's a Champo. That's a bummer. Hope he dropped a rare breastplate. So that's always a plus. Well, that's a bummer, because now we have to go back to town to revive him, and it's probably going to be hella expensive. Wait, did we pick up that breastplate? No, we did not. We need to do that. Let's pick up this stuff first. Okay, let's close this so we can just auto pick it up. Um,
I can't carry anymore.
the hell we can't. We'll just stuff it in there. So yeah, reviving him's gonna be expensive. I can guarantee it. Because this game has no mercy when it comes to your wallet. Then again, if you could bring people back from the dead,
Good day.
I am. Oh wow, that's not expensive at all. Okay, I was talking all that nonsense, and it's actually really cheap to revive him. Let's identify this armor and see if we can put it to good use. Let's talk to her just because she gives us our HP back. Plus 21% enhanced defense, cold resist, damage reduced by 1. It says 83 defense. It says, I mean, just statistically, we kind of have to. Can you? Oh no, you're wearing something much better. Oh, that's socketed too. Whatever. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. I hope we can make it through the Arcane Sanctuary in this episode, but I'm not going to force it because we're so close to potentially beating Act 2 that I don't want to rush it and get myself killed prematurely, you know? Because we've been holding on pretty strongly. I'm actually surprised we've made it this far. And I know that doesn't show a lot of faith in myself, but I understand how this game can be. We need to restock our potions and stuff. This game can be brutal if you lose focus for even a moment. As you've seen, because I've come close to dying several times. So, since I don't have a switch anymore to use, I think our next One Life to Lose run is going to be in Dark Souls 3. I found the power cable for my capture card, which kind of bummed me out because it meant that I could have recorded some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild a while ago. But, and I found it in such a stupid place too. I think that's what annoys me the most about it. Like, it was somewhere that I didn't bother to look because my brain was like, no, if it was there, we would have seen it. Like, that's too obvious of a place. And then it was absolutely there. So, go me, I guess. But yeah, I'm really feeling... Ooh, an Ithrin. I'm really feeling doing some Dark Souls 3 for our next run. So, that should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. I love Dark Souls 3. Okay, so as much as I love Dark Souls 3, and as many hours as I've put into Dark Souls 3, I still don't know how far I'm gonna get in that game. I really don't. I could manage to get to the end, or I could die trying to kill a side boss. Because unfortunately, a lot of the side bosses of Dark Souls 3 kind of pave the way to, like, they stand between you and some really cool secrets or really cool additions. Like if I wanted the Black Knight halberd, which is one of my favorite weapons from Dark Souls 1, I'd have to go through 2 side bosses. Technically. I mean, I guess I only have to go through one, like I go, because it's inside the arena for one of the bosses. And I guess I could snag it and then go back to the bonfire. But where's the fun in that? Like, if I was going to go into that boss arena, I might as well fight that boss, you know? But, I have so many hours in Dark Souls 3, which is why I'm looking forward to doing a One Life to Lose run. Also, I finally have the intro for this series prepared, and I don't plan on actually implementing it into videos until this series is over. Because I guess it feels weird to me if I were to have all these Diablo videos that don't have an intro, and then suddenly at some point there are intros. So I'm just gonna wait until we move on to Dark Souls to have the intros. Some more ring mail has sockets. Nah, I'm not interested. I probably should be interested because it probably has better defense than what we have right now. But as it stands, we don't have the inventory space to care. So, anywho, I'm hoping that Dark Souls 3 goes smoothly, and I'm gonna play the way I normally play. I'm not gonna sword and board it. For those of you who don't know, sword and board means use sword and shield, because I actually don't use shields when I play anymore. I stopped using shields after my first playthrough, when I got really familiar with the game. Like I used to know Dark Souls 3 like the back of my hand. I haven't played it in a hot minute. Do we have any keys? We do not. I used to play Dark Souls like every single day. And then I just kind of fell out of it because other games came out and I wanted to play those games and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm gonna play it the way I normally play, which is with no shield, focusing on dodging, doing what I can. That could come back to bite me, but I don't want to. I don't want to win the run if I win. I don't want to win by turtling up because that's not interesting for you guys to watch. It's not interesting for me to play. I want to play it as if I want to play it using the Bloodborne mentality. Even though I've never played Bloodborne, I understand the game is all about timing your dodges and so on and so forth. Because the From Software realized that having shields, while it's fun, well, fun's a strong word. While it's often necessary for players to get into the series, to get familiar with the series, using shields can also take away a lot of the agency because you suddenly feel like in every single fight you have to turtle up and hide behind your shield and just wait for a new opportunity. And you know, for the most part, that's true on your first run. But if you're the kind of player that likes to revisit games, then once you beat Dark Souls, if you get to your second playthrough, or even your third or your fourth, and you're familiar with the game, you get to a point where you rely more on dodging than you do shields, because at a certain point you just understand the attack patterns of your enemies so well because you're so used to seeing them, because you're used to dying all the time. Like that's how I got used to the game. I just kept dying. I mean, I'll by no means ever speedrun the game. That's never going to happen. But I do have a lot of enjoyment in Dark Souls 3. I feel like if I was ever going to speedrun any game, I'd probably want to learn to speedrun the Resident Evil 2 remake, because I'm already planning my route for when I have to do the so you have to, in order to unlock, because just like with all Resident Evil games, there are unlockables and you can earn things like infinite ammo and so on and so forth. And in order to do that, oftentimes you have to beat the game super quick. Like, I mean hella quick. And I did it in Resident Evil 7. I forgot, I think I had to beat the game in like under 3 hours, or under some amount of hours. It was like less than half the time than it took me to beat the game originally. Because on my first playthrough of Resident Evil 7, I think it took me like 10, 12 hours because I was exploring everything, and you know, I was dying because I didn't know where enemies were coming from or where enemies were placed. And then I did a couple more playthroughs, so I got really familiar with the game. And when that happened, I was breezing through it. Like not even joking. We need to put more into we're gonna put some more into energy just so we can make more of our mana usage. Summoning spells, we're gonna go. I don't want the blood golem at all. I want the iron golem, that's for sure. 27 to 36. Mastery. We really do need to put more points back into this. But for the moment, I'm going to put more into this. Cast on the corpse of a slain monster. Toxic gas is released. Poison Nova. Ooh, that's really good. Um. I think I might come back for this at a later point, assuming we survive that long. But for now, I'm gonna drop this in Bone Spear just to make ourselves a little bit stronger. But yeah, in Resident Evil 7, you have to beat the game at a certain super quick to get like infinite ammo and all this other stuff. And I did it because I knew the game like the back of my hand at that point. And then after I beat the game and got infinite ammo, beating the game got even quicker, you know? So I'm not against learning to speedrun RE2R because as it stands now, like what RE2R is one of those games where once you get familiar with the police station, which is where you spend most of your time, honestly, once you're familiar with that, you know, you start mentally plotting out all the quickest routes you can take. You start plotting out where enemies will be if you've left them alive. Like, I'm still on my first playthrough. I haven't finished RE2R because I just haven't had time to go play it. But like, even I'm like, okay, I gotta go this way because I gotta get this place this quickly. Oh, this is the shortcut here, so on and so forth. So, I'm like, I know I'm already completely outdated. Well, not outdated, but like I'm disqualified from unlocking the infinite ammo at this point in my run because I've been playing for well over 3 hours. But on my second run, my second normal run, because there's a mode called second run, but on my second playthrough of the normal mode, I'm gonna try my best to blaze through everything. I'm gonna just try to figure it out because I really want infinite ammo. Because infinite ammo, despite what people think, it honestly makes playing Resident Evil even more fun because you can just go through and just enjoy yourself, not having to worry about running out of ammo for specific weapons. That's an okay charm, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, I don't think it's infinite ammo for every weapon. I think it's infinite ammo for your handgun. But you can get ridiculous upgrades for your handgun. The Matilda, as it's called. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually kind of pissed that I'm just recently finding my capture cards. No, no, get out of there. Oh god, my heart. Where's my crew? I honestly thought I was going to die there while talking about a completely different game. Where is everyone? Oh, I guess everyone's dead. But oh jeez. I forgot what I was talking about. What on earth was I talking about? I was so afraid I was going to die just then that my brain blanked hard. I know I was talking about Resident Evil, but I don't remember where I was going or what I was saying. I just remember looking down at my HP and being like, oh, this is it. This is how it all ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. See, I need to be more careful in here. I was getting preoccupied because I lost track of where my party was, and I just assumed they would come back me up soon, and that almost cost me this run. So what are you guys doing? Excuse me. Excuse me. Come here. I'm actually really mad that I lost my train of thought because I was on a roll. I was talking. Now I have no idea what we were talking about, guys. None. Oh well. It happens. I guess I'll just have to... Oh, get out of the fire. Through the fire and the flames we carry on. Man, okay, so do you guys remember that song Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force? I remember I was in my sophomore year of high school, I believe, when Guitar Hero 3 dropped. I played the ever-loving hell out of Guitar Hero 3. Okay, listen. I played it a lot, but I still wasn't good at it. I played it on medium because I just could not get the hang of moving my fingers up and down the I guess the neck of the guitar. I couldn't get a feel for shifting my hands so that my fingers were on the back buttons and then shifting my fingers back up to its initial position. It kept screwing me. So I just played on medium because on medium you can still play songs fast. You just don't have to worry about the extra button, you know. Maybe that makes me a baby. Maybe that makes me a terrible get out of the fire. Maybe that makes me a terrible Guitar Hero player. But you know what? I wasn't doing it for you guys. I was doing it for me. But anyway, I remember when Guitar Hero and Rock Band were like the pinnacle of party games. Like you couldn't go anywhere without people being like, "Hey, you want to play some Rock Band?" And it was such a wholesome period. Like people loved just jamming out with each other. Like you have your own fake bands and stuff. I actually kind of miss that mentality. I really miss that mentality of people just enjoying rhythm games like that because it doesn't exist anymore. Oh, I gotta watch my HP. Rhythm games of that caliber just don't exist anymore. Rhythm games in general have died out, honestly. And that makes me kind of sad. Can you not, please? Man, that near-death experience really pulled me out of my thoughts. Like it really screwed up my thought flow because I was just rambling away. You guys were gonna let me just ramble my brain off. No one was gonna say anything until I was dead. And then suddenly, I was almost dead. So yeah, let's not focus on Resident Evil because I'm very passionate about that game series the same way I'm about like Persona, and that clearly almost got me killed. So shifting gears a bit to something a bit more, I guess, universal than just my love of Resident Evil. But one thing that I've never experienced that I know a lot of people have is I've never once been to like summer camp. And I know a lot of people have really good memories of summer camp and like, you know, canoeing and like their first crushes or their first kiss in the woods and stuff. I have no experience with any of that stuff. None. I've never been to summer camp. I've never, like as a kid I hadn't ever really been away from home for long extended periods of time. Like certainly not for an entire summer. And if I was, it was in the company of other family. Like I'd spent the entire summer with my grandmother a few times, but I was super familiar with that environment because I had visited my grandmother all the time. But like something like a sleepaway camp where literally all you do is like camp with other kids and you have counselors and all that stuff. Never did that. So that's weird to me. It's such a foreign concept that I can't even imagine myself in that scenario. Like if my kids want to do that when I have kids, I'm gonna let them. I'm not gonna deny them because I'm like, no, that's just a cult in the woods. I'm like, no, go for it. Just try not to enrage any serial killers, I guess. Like try not to. We'll just avoid Camp Crystal Lake. How about that, kids? And of course they won't get that reference because they'll be too young to watch Friday the 13th. And in hindsight, the Friday the 13th movies really aren't that good. They're classics, yeah, but they're not good per se. Like go back and watch any horror movie that you loved as a kid, and I guarantee you it's like 25% as good as you thought it was. The only horror movies from back then that really still stand out to me as being really good, I'd honestly have to think about it because I don't know. Classic horror doesn't have the same punch to me as it used to. Probably because I'm not a terrible, stupid kid. And visual effects and storytelling have come such a long way since those movies were at the peak of their popularity. I thought those were enemies. I was about to shoot my own guys. So yeah, I don't know. Those movies just don't appeal to me anymore. I still like the Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Okay, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, still a classic, a bona fide classic. Like I can't contest that. The first the first Friday 13th with, you know, what's Pamela Voorhees. Like I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to sit through it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've actually never seen any of those movies. I've only seen like the terrible remakes from like the late 2000s. So I'm not qualified to speak on that one. And I'm not one of those people that likes to have an opinion on things I haven't seen before. So I don't really see us getting to our destination in the near future, so we might have to, this episode's just going to run a little long because this place can't be terribly much bigger. We've explored the entire west and north side. But there's still the southern and eastern maps. So yeah, we're just going to call this episode in a bit. We're just going to go back to the waypoint because I'm looking at the map and there's no other reason to continue fighting those guys right there. So anywho, if you're new here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can never miss notifications when content goes up. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know what brought you here if you're brand new. And as always, I've been Saturn, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Diablo 2 One Life to Lose run. Later!